G'day, folks. Welcome back to another Beaming 42 show. How are you, Beam? Looking forward to round 22?
Yep. Looking forward to round 22, and as a Dragons fan, looking forward to the end of the season.
Yeah, look, it is a bit sad, but look, you've got to be optimistic, mate. Well played, sir. So we'll get straight into the news of the week then, which to me, Sterlo quitting Channel 9, and there's a sniff of him going to Parramatta for some sort of role. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I don't see it. I think, he's a knowledgeable guy, been in the game for a long time, on the sidelines though, right? So I think there's a difference being in clubland versus being, on TV 2 days a week. Look, you know what I mean? They also said he was going to give room for the new up-and-comers to come through the commentary team. Have a look at who's coming through. You've got Cameron Smith, Jonathan Thurston, Billy Slater, all coming through in that commentary team. And you've got Peter Sterling. And I think that there's a lot of viewers now who are probably going, or the younger viewers who are going, who the fuck is he? Right? So I think that's where him and Fatty are, yesterday's heroes. So good on him. Enjoy your retirement. Fuck off to the North Coast.
Yeah, I don't know. And maybe it's because of my vintage, but I think there still needs to be a little bit of the old school in the team. And now that you got no Sterlo, you got Fatty, who's well and truly gone. And now all of a sudden you got the likes of Freddie and Johns and Thurston. And to me, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to me, but maybe it's just because it's been like that for a long time. So maybe it is time.
I would keep Sterlo rather than Gus Gould and Ray Warren.
In an absolute heartbeat. Yes, yeah. I agree with that. So
he's a knowledgeable guy. When he speaks, he makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. So, Anyway.
But, and just another nail in the coffin as to why I watch KO anyway, because I just think their commentary team just outweighs 9 by a million times to 1. So anyway, so look, big story of the week was Chambers just being his normal self, but being a flea of a man. And he has been dumped by Josh Hannay this week.
Yeah, I think it's great that Hannay took a dump on Chambers. There was a bit of news. I think it was Isaac Luke who said that there's more to this story, right? And that the team are off Chambers. So obviously there's something there, right? So people have had enough of his shit games, and he's been thrown away. Got to think that's the end for Will. You can't think that Sharks are going to look after him, going to try and keep him, and then who would want him? So Dragons need a centre big time, but Jesus, don't get that guy.
Well, I think they're a big chance. And to be honest, I honestly think that a big problem that Chambers has is his history with playing for Melbourne against the Sharks, who just hated each other. And now he's got to be teammates with them, and some of them still hold a grudge. So he's not doing anything different to what he did back then. So
yeah, good point.
But I do respect Josh Hannay for having the kahunas to just go, you know what, I don't stand for that, you're out. So good on you, Josh.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah.
And for a guy who's looking for another coaching gig in the future, I think it says a lot about his gumption.
Yep.
His willingness to do what he thinks right. So
agreed.
Good move.
Agreed. Maybe he's less stubborn than Todd Payton.
True.
So, a bit of a sad story for me, but geez, I love watching this guy, and it was sad to hear that Is Good has retired this week. I know you probably don't think too much of it, but what do you think?
Well, he's been a great try scorer over the years, right? And that's been in good Gold Coast teams and mostly shit Gold Coast teams, right? So, so he's been a great steward of the game, and always been entertaining, right? So always given everything he's got. So enjoy your retirement, Anthony. stay away from the drugs like Kevin Gordon.
Yeah, no doubt. And look, just mass respect. He only debuted at the age of 25, and he's the leading try scorer for the Gold Coast at 85 tries. To me, that's just outstanding. So, a round of applause to you, my friend. And some other good news: lockdowns over in southeast Queensland. So fans are back to 50% at some games, and thank God they're going to spread the games around to a few other stadiums: Townsville, Redcliffe, and Sunny Coast. Suncorp was looking just horrid.
Yeah, you got to think over in a couple more weeks. It'll look like, dogs have been pissing on it for the last month, right? So good that they're spreading a couple of games out. Sunny Coast Redcliffe getting some games this weekend, but get the games to the bush in the future, right? So Rockhampton lost their game a couple of weeks ago. Give them a game back, right? Get a game in Gladstone. Get a game in Mackay, right? So another game in Mackay.
Yeah.
Right, so spread it around, So they've got this opportunity, and the people of Southeast Queensland are not always going to go to those games every weekend, right? So, you'll get 10,000 in Mount Isa. Send a game to Mount Isa.
Yeah. And look, I think what you're saying is absolutely valid. I just think at this very minute, maybe this week, maybe next week, it's all about making sure you don't spread that nasty COVID shit somewhere else. And so let's just keep it there. And then maybe in a week or two, we can spread it to those other games. So a new segment for us, my friend. We're going to go into yay or nay, mate. And first thing on the agenda is the loan system. And they did it last year. And then Canberra has done it now again, with Ryan James and Horsburgh being loaned to the Dogs for the rest of the year.
Rest of the year. I'm going to go yay.
Short term.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, you look at what happened last year with Harry Grant. He got great experience. Unfortunately, he was still the best player for the Tigers. And it just makes them realise what they're missing. But, Dragons got one earlier this year after Barbecue Gate when they got a player from the Warriors, a front rower, to come over and play. So, given their situation with forwards, I think it's a good in. And, look, especially this year when you've got guys who are not going to be playing Reggies, right? There's no reserve grade comp at the moment. So, therefore, I think it's a really good thing to make happen. Everyone's in Queensland. They just shift hotels for a couple of days, right? So, a couple of weeks. So well done to the NRL for that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm all positive for it. I think the scenario is just tailor-made for it, where exactly like you said, there is no reserve comp for these guys to go to. So why not let them play for a team that has had a massive amount of suspensions and try and get them some playing time and get another contract for next year. So. And all right, next topic. Yay or nay to Gutho suggesting that he wants $1 million per year to stay at the Eels?
This is a nay for sure. Who is going to pay Gutho $1 million a year? Have a look around the league at who needs a fullback, right? Broncos need a fullback, right? But are they going to pay $1 million for Gutho? I don't think so, right? I mean, I think he's a guy who's looking at, he's no Tommy T. He's no Tedesco. He's no Ben Hunt. He's not worth $1 million, right? So, Gutho, fuck off back to Parramatta, right? Put your Ugg boots on and settle and sign with them for $750, and then live your life, right?
Yeah, agree. And you stole my thunder because I was going to suggest that he's no Ash Taylor. But
right, there you
go. So look, I agree. There's no chance he can demand $1 million. Dufty has proven that the fullback market is saturated. He was a 500 grand player, easy, couldn't even get a gig anywhere.
Yep.
So if Gutho thinks he can demand $1 million, then he is absolutely guessing. So a nay for me. Yay or nay to Crichton and Hetherington being harshly judged at the judiciary?
I'm going to say nay. I think that they deserve some suspension. Is there a Hetherington tax that's being applied to him? Look, I'm sure he's getting some extra scrutiny, but you know what I mean? these guys have got the records. These guys have got some history where they've been suspended in the past. Tarek Sims gets a week this week, right, for a little love tap. He's got a history. So I don't have a issue with it. The Roosters down another player. Who, right? Get on with it.
Yeah, and look, to be honest, the stat that just blew my mind was Hetherington has played 33 games, has been suspended for 16. So
that's fantastic.
That to me is just enough in a nutshell. Like, yeah, maybe.
But you know what? I think he's proved he can play, right?
Oh, absolutely. And that day he went toe to toe with JWH was just one of the best I've watched. And but sadly he never lived up to that. So, but anyway, let's move on to round 22 games because we've got a few to get through here. And we'll start off with Storm and Raiders on the Thursday night. And I'm just concerned about Paps, mate. He is just not the same player he was.
Yeah, I agree. Somehow he's gone scared, right? Mm. So I didn't think he got hit real hard by Fui Mayona. I thought that he was hard done by 5 weeks for that. Jesus. Anyway, so look, he's finding it hard to settle back into that Storm team, right? But saying that, how good is Nicho Hynes, right? So if there was a trade system, look, you could get top dollar for Pappenhausen and be very happy with Nicho Hynes, right? And save money on the gap. Look, the Storm are still going to be way too good. So I can't see the Storm being threatened by the Raiders here. Storm to win it by 14.
Yeah, exactly the score I've got them as well. Kafusi and Big Nelson back for the Storm, and Rapana's playing really well back at fullback for the Raiders. Yep. But yeah, I've got Storm by 14. So Dragons and Panthers, potentially another percentage booster for the Panthers here.
Yeah, look, I think Panthers were good last week. Dragons get some additional guys back from barbecue suspensions. And
that's the suspensions, is it?
Yeah, that's it now. So the only suspensions are real suspensions now, Tarek. Look, Panthers $1.12, but you're not going to believe this, but I sniff an upset, right? So I'm backing the Dragons to get this one in a really tight one, right? By 2 points.
Wow. Well, I absolutely admire your enthusiasm and optimism. With Ramsey and Sims out for the Dragons, Ramsey out's probably a positive because he drops the ball more than he doesn't. But I've got the Panthers by 18 here. Capel coming back, Leno back as well. They're still not playing with Cleary, but yeah, it's hard to think that the Dragons can even get a sniff here. But mate, wish you all the best of luck.
You heard it here first.
That's it. You did hear it here first. So we'll move on to the Broncos and the Roosters. Now, this one to me is an interesting matchup because Broncos are on the up. They're improving, and the Roosters just continue to keep missing players.
Yeah, they do. But, I still think, that they've just got a bit more class in the backs, right? And I'm saying that, and I'm looking at Sam Walker and Drew Hutchinson. Really? What am I saying? Right, so it will be a tight game. I think it'll be tight, but I do think that the Broncos have lost the ability to win, and they don't know how to win anymore. And that's something that the Roosters have not lost. And when they bring someone new in, they have that expectation to win. So I'm going to back the Cox to win this one, and the Cox to give it to the Horses by. We'll be tight, right? 7 points.
Nice. Okay. Well, shout out to the Wook. I hope that's true. I just think with Crichton and JWH, who are out for the Roosters, just going to be too big of a gap. And I actually got the Broncos. I got the Broncos winning by 6. I don't know. It's going to be a tip of the hat to Kevy because of his coaching style. It's just been impressive all year. And I don't know. I just think the Roosters are really struggling. So anyway, speaking of struggling, let's go on to the next match with the Rabbits and the Titans. Titans have won 3 in a row, but the Bunnies are on a 10-game streak. So I'm concerned for the safety of the Titans.
Yeah, look, I mean, 3 in a row means that the Titans are looking at 3 losses in a row, right? So Rabbits all day here, right? So Rabbits will win this one by I was going to say 55 points, but I'll tone it down by 20.
Right. Look, I'd love to say that it's a great matchup, but yeah, I got the Bunnies by 18. The Titans are just so inconsistent. And let's not forget that the last time they played, the Titans had them 24-10 at halftime and threw it away. So there's a chance, but realistically, ain't going to happen. So then we'll move on to the next game. I think this is the new Who Cares Cup, Cowboys v Tigers. Now, originally, I thought the Cowboys had to win this, but JT's out.
Yeah, and it's played in Townsville. Look, Toddy Payton is just abusing Jason Tamalolo, playing him out of position, not playing him. It's like, it's some sort of abuse. So at least that won't happen this week because he's injured. I flip-flopped in this one. I thought the Cowboys would win because it's at home. But then, Mad showed me last night on Tiger Town that, he's a passionate guy and he can get these guys up. In the end, toss a coin. God, who cares also? Tigers to win this one by 4 points.
Yeah, I'm the same, and I'm actually going to go Tigers by 1. So, all right, so we'll go on to a few other games here. We've got 3 to go. We've got Manly versus the Eels. This is probably the match of the round. Maybe the last one. Eels are struggling.
Yeah, they are. But I'm going to back the Eels in this one. I've just got a feeling, right, somewhere in my testes that the Eels will win this one, and but it'll be in a tight one, right? So, somewhere like Eels 20, Manly 18. There you go.
Wow, I can't differ from you any further. I think this is going to be a massive blowout. And with Reid Mahoney out, I did forget that when I made my original prediction of Manly by 12. I'm changing it to Manly by 24. I honestly think the Eels have nothing to offer. So, well, look, who knows? And maybe Turbo will just, I don't know, he won't be able to play or something, and that will change things. But anyway, move on to another game. Warriors and the Dogs. Now, if the Warriors can't win this, then I'll hand in my hat.
Yeah, you got to think the Warriors will win this one. Not in the canter, right? Because I think the Dogs have shown that they can be a bit stubborn. They are missing a few heavies in the middle, and that's why they've got James and Corey Horsburgh playing this week, right?
Well,
but
can they play this week? That I don't know.
Well, they're named.
Right.
They're named, right? So Ryan James is named in 10 without a photo. Corey Horsburgh named in 16, no photo. So,
wow.
Yeah, you got to think, look, they're in, right? So, but it's not going to be enough, right? So, Warriors will win this one. I got the Warriors winning it by 10.
Yeah, I got Warriors by 12. Napper and Hetherington out for the Dogs, replaced by the 2 boys you just mentioned. But Evans and Lodge out for the Warriors does concern me. But yeah, I just can't see the Dogs even being remotely competitive here. And then we go on to what maybe now I consider as the match of the round, the Sharks and the Knights. This is a huge game for both teams who want to get into the 8.
Well, the only person who'd think it's a match of the round is the person who's hoping that, it's a draw, right? So that it gives the Titans a leg up, right? So, look, I can't see the Knights being headed in this game, right? So They've got as good a forward pack as they're going to get. And Mitch Pearce is back. He's got another game under his belt. He'll be improving every week. Bradman Best in the centres. I just think the Knights will win it. And I think the Knights will win it pretty handsome. So I've got the Knights winning this one by 16.
Right. And you're right. I was vested in this game for the Titans outcome. And I originally had tipped the Knights by 8, but I'm just going to go with the heart. And I'm going to tip the Sharks by 2. Just because I think they're going to really want to help the Titans make the 8. Because that's all I've got. So, and that's it, my friend. So that's all we've got for this week on round 22. I hope all your tips come up, mate.
Yeah, well, I only wish I could bet on it on Sportsbet. But anyway,
well,
probably saving myself a lot of money.
Exactly.